Welcome to Transforming the Toddler Years, a Core 4 parenting podcast for conscious, cycle-breaking parents ready to turn toddler tantrums into teachable moments. Hi, I'm Cara Tyrrell, a lifetime lover of littles, mom to 2 grown and flown girls, and an early childhood educator. Through the show, I teach you my collaborative parenting methodology for nurturing your little human's mind, body, and spirit. Because how you connect and collaborate in the first 5 years is how you raise happy, healthy kids who grow into the best version of themselves and find true success in school and life. Okay, Toddler Tribe. I wanted to tell you something that I don't think people tell you enough. Toddlerhood is not terrible. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be a terrific time of exploration and learning and deep connection between parent, caregiver, and child. And so I invite you to go have a look at my Transforming the Toddler Years course, because it doesn't have to be as hard as it feels every single day. We'll look through the 6 soul and science-based modules together. The magic of your mindset. I'll talk you through the power of your perspective and how you can truly shift everyday moments. I crack the hood on what's going on in your baby's brain, break down the linguistics of the language we use, how we talk to kids, and how they hear us. And then we go all in on the science of strategies and build you a personalized parenting toolkit that allows you to tackle every day and feel a real sense of accomplishment that you are raising your unique, authentic child to be the very best version of themselves, and you're growing every day too. I'm 100% in your corner. These are all self-paced modules, but every course purchase comes with free access to our bi-monthly group coaching program for 3 whole months. So hop on in and let's get started transforming your toddler years today. Use the link in the show notes, and I cannot wait to see you there. Welcome back, Toddler Tribe. Great to have you here on the show today. Today, I'm going to tell a story that is really vulnerable about fear inside parenting. And I just feel like it's so relevant to all of us right now as we continue to watch our world change at a pace that is unprecedented. Not just the way it's working, but also the morals and the values and the characteristics of the people who we are seeing and the decisions that they're making in the world. So fear in parenting is incredibly common. I like to say that as soon as we have a baby or bring a baby home, all of a sudden it's part of our DNA. And in the beginning, we call it worry, right? We worry about our kids all the time. The most important thing to start with here is that we know from reams of research of the scientific study of the brain that we have what's called a negativity bias, that our brain is literally wired to ask us, to require us to look for the possible problems, to look for the negative, to, a lot of us take it a little far, right? We catastrophize. Oh my gosh, what is the worst possible scenario? And the trick is when we have tiny human beings who literally depend on us for everything, for their survival, and then for their core development needs, and then for their nutrition, and on and on and on. It can be really easy to fall into that forward motion, negative bias, because that's what we're wired for, and really hard to pull ourselves back to the other side and think about things from a perspective where it's more reality-based. There's more probability that everything is okay than there is that it's really, really wrong. So let me flash you forward a lot of years. And many of you know that my youngest, my baby, is 20 years old now, and she lives in Tokyo, Japan. And distance like that is really challenging for a parent. From the moment that she, as an 18-year-old, yes, 18-year-old, got on the plane and said, I'm doing this and I've got this and I love you and just cheer for me, I have. And we're a faith-based family. And so I trust, and I have trusted. And quite honestly, like while she was in the air on the plane, I would just lay in bed, not sleeping, right? Because my negative bias went directly to worry. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What could happen? What if the person who's supposed to meet her at the airport doesn't? What? She can't read the signs. They're all in Japanese. What if, right? Wow, we went down a very bad brain rabbit hole. And then I would bring myself back by singing a hymn, Trust and Obey. Trust and obey. Trust and obey. There's no other way. She will be okay. Over and over and over. And golly gee, she was. She totally was. And ever since that day, things have just kind of lined up for her. The right dorm at the right time, the right person at the right time, the right church at the right time, the right job at the right time. And every time a positive outcome happened, it overrode my mom worry a little bit more. And I started to sit deeply in, okay, this is all right. She is all right. And she's out there killing it independently, living life, which is the entire goal. Working through a 2-year-old Caroline struggle, supporting her through her 4-year-old social anxiety so bad that she literally would not leave my side and had to be physically attached to me at all times in one way or another, even if it was just a finger on my thigh. Negotiating with her a safe way for her to go to a camp that her school required. I have an episode all about this one, because it was an outdoor learning opportunity, but part of the school curriculum. We had to do that. She was around 12 years old at the time, but it had to be just safe enough inside her comfort zone while also stretching her boundaries. Allowing her emotional process when it came time for her junior class trip. And that was overseas. And allowing her to come to the point at her autonomy moment at 17 years old to say, I need to do things that push my boundaries. I need to see what I'm capable of. Listen, I just gave you her life in a 2-minute blip. None of it was easy. All of it took time and intention and energy, and it took my collaborative parenting methodology where she had a voice and I got to honor and respect her feelings in that moment. But then I also had a voice, and then she got to honor and respect my ideas in that moment. And we were able to work together as a team. That's the collaborative part, and solve along the way as she continued to grow into someone who could keep growing, not just physically, although she is dang tall. she's like 6 feet tall, but emotionally and confidently and capably inside the core of who she is. All this to say that we've just bumped up against one situation where I am so far away and worried. That worry is just really eating at me. Even though I have evidence, even though I have proof over the last almost 2 years that she has always been fine. Boy, this one's tough. So her lease is coming up. And actually, by the time this airs, this will have all resolved itself. And I'm so curious to see what the outcome is going to be. I have to stay right in that mindset of curiosity. But her lease is coming due. And she many, many, many months ago said, I don't want to renew this lease. I want to look for something that is fill in the blank, all the things, a little closer to school, a little cheaper, a little this, little that. And she has been. And looking and looking and looking and not finding. And like when I say her lease is up soon, I'm talking within a month of the time that I'm recording this. Ooh. And every day that gets closer, I'm like, uh-oh, are we going to be okay? Is my child going to end up on the street? Like I have literally no control. And deep, deep down, I don't believe that that's true. She has a community around her. And I know that if there's like a short-term solution that has to happen before she gets into a new place, that she'll be fine. But today's episode is really about that permeating feeling. And I want you to know that I feel you, I see you, I get you when your child is about to do or attempt or has to do something that's out of your control. And your brain is going through the laundry list of possible ways it could all go wrong. And your body and your mind and your soul, all you want to do is hop in and solve it for them. Protect, protect, protect. Because that's the second piece of our DNA that immediately changes when we have a child. We worry about them constantly. Why? Because we want to protect them. Now, in my current situation, I suppose the good news is that even though that is flooding my body, right? Those cortisol levels are flooding my body. And I want to jump in and fix and solve and figure out, oh, look, I found you a place to live. I literally cannot. That is actually the good news because it's protecting me. It's preventing me from allowing her to take that next big leap. Does that make sense? Here's the hard part for you. When you have a 2-year-old and it's their first day at a twos program. When you have a 4-year-old and it's their first day in the elevated preschool room. When you have a 5-year-old and it's their first day of kindergarten. When you have a 6-year-old and they've been invited to the first birthday party, that's a drop-off. Oh my gosh. You actually do have the ability and availability to hop in, to prevent, and to solve. And today I'm encouraging you. And if you need to reach out to me for support on this one, please DM me on Instagram and let's chat. I'm encouraging you to take that deep breath, to remember that this is the training ground, that the moments that all you want to do is solve and protect for so that you don't have to worry are the moments you've got to step back. You've got to help them practice resilient action. You've got to give them opportunities to practice resilient thinking. You've got to give them opportunities to struggle and sometimes get it wrong so that they feel confident enough to try it again, get it that time, and now they're off and running. This is big stuff. And I really pray that by the time this airs, I have a very cool follow-up story to share with you about the outcome that room share that popped up at the very last minute. And honestly, the person who needed it filled thought there was no way possible anybody would be available. But my Caroline was. I hope I have a really cool story to share with you about that. And maybe it won't be that. Maybe it will be that she couldn't find a place to move into for a month or two. And so she ended up rooming with somebody temporarily who ended up becoming one of her best friends, who ended up opening different doors for her in different ways. That's also possible. The world is full of possibilities. And if you are somebody who can say to your negative bias, enough, I get it. That's how my brain is wired because I'm a human being, but I'm actually going to choose these thoughts. And I'm actually going to choose not to take these actions because I know it's in the long term better for my child. Well, then you win the day. Until our next episode, all of you out there, stay mindful and proactive as we transform the toddler years.